Hey there guys, Kadan here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer, specifically the Beastmen's Eye for an Eye campaign. We start off right where we left off on the burning ruins of Caden, the small Carroburg settlement that we razed to the ground at the end of the last episode. Now, we're situated in such a way right now that we only have to face off against one army defending Leidenhove and take the capital of Shinfield. After that, we have a few options in which we can continue our expansion either into the Marienburg area of the wasteland here, or outwards towards the Cult of Ulrich. I'm thinking that most likely the Marienburg area in the southern and northern wasteland will probably be the easiest for us to expand to, as it's a relatively small province. And from there, we can decide whether or not we want to cut down and across and deal with all of this fun jazz in the misty foglands. Causing quite a bit of chaos corruption, I noticed just before I started recording here. Look at the bubbling pits of flame and lakes of fire that are sprouting up in the wake of our destruction. Even down here in this province, I think it's, 48% chaos corruption, just by our very presence and our sacking of Caden, causing a lot of troubles for the beleaguered human defenders. Well, without any further ado and superfluous language, let's continue on into turn 18 and see what... Oh, I was about to say see what these gentlemen want to do about their sacked city, but apparently it's nothing. Khazrak the One-Eye, the call to the great hunt has been answered. The ground lurches and rises. The great bray herd is summoned. This merciless horde of beastmen are gathered in Caden, ready to fight and feast. Aye, and Dar, Flesh Eater, is back in our battle group, ready to wreak havoc. It looks like we managed to... Yes, there it is. We hit the cap of our bestial rage, thus calling in a allied beast herd, or war herd, under Nurg Flesh Ripper. Very cool. Acts, of course, very similar to the way the orcs behave, in that you can give them war goal targets, and they'll just follow you around and do that jazz. Now, what I'm thinking here is, of course, we have a very potent force and a very potent opportunity here to take both the capital and Leidenhove. These guys here are pretty well equipped with good groups of Ungors, some Bestigors, a couple of Razorgore chariots, some Centaurs with great weapons, as well as the regular Razorgore herds, Chaos Warhounds, and even Chaos Spawn. So what I'm thinking is we give them this target here, and that way when the turn ticks over, they'll go and attack Leidenhove and keep this army off of our backs, while we take Khazrak One-Eye, and of course Dar himself. Get in there, babe. Wait, what are you doing? I want you to get involved with this army, son. Okay, you move that way. Oh, he's got... I see. He's got 20 troops, so we can't add in a mage. That's fine. What we're going to do is get him to weaken the settlement by damaging the building. And just damaging the capital or the settlement building will damage the walls, possibly destroying a tower or two. Should be nice, unless he critically fails and gets wounded. Fucking, are you kidding me? Literally, the turn after you're back from being wounded, from being such a fucking failure, you go off and get yourself hurt again, on a 50% chance, no less, of actually succeeding. Well, I guess Khazrak is just going to have to take Shinfield without his help, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. Could auto-resolve this, but since our forces are a little bit weak right now, I think I'm going to take it to the battle and try to see if I can minimize some of the casualties on our more weakened forces, because with a auto-resolve, we might lose this Ungor group. Alright, so taking a look at the field, once again, we are showered in ashes on a gloomy day. Don't know what that's all about, but this settlement battle is a little bit larger than the previous one we had, or being, I think, a tier 2 settlement. That they have a little bit of a larger wall section here with a much larger ground, and actually very open ground that I've not seen before. I'm going to focus my attack on one side, which means it's probably going to take some fire from the towers, but if all goes well, we'll be through those gates pronto, since the Minotaurs just bash those gates like there's absolutely no tomorrow. We're going to take our spearmen and just try to honestly hide them so they don't get picked off by the towers. since they're just too weak to even really be of assistance. We're going to grab our Ungors with axes and shields and place them into a single group. Our Gore Horde will line up behind them, just like that. Our Dags will just, like, honestly just chill out back here because they're probably not going to be too useful themselves. Same thing with the Centaurs. We'll take the Ungor Raiders and throw them into two groups of 3 and 2. And then, of course, we need our Minotaurs to be right in the middle of the fray here, because they're the ones going to bash down the gate. Khazrak also is going to get involved with the melee. Cool. I think that is good. Let's start the battle. Push our forces forward. Just everyone in general. 3 and 4. And then the Minotaurs get to work on that gate, boys. Already taken some hits. Of course, the Beastmen, especially the Ungors, are honestly just fodder. They don't do much, but they take hits and they hold the line, which is really all we need of them. And, I mean, given the chance, though, with the Ungor Raiders, or these guys, rather, the Axe and Shield Gentlemen, if they're on the flank and an enemy's being held by Ungor Spearmen, they will actually kill units, which is nice. And then look at these. Oh, are they being targeted by something? Inspired by ability. I have no idea what that was, but let's watch these guys bust down the gates. The embellished gates of an Elector-Count capital. Absolutely no match for the strength, the bestial strength of the Minotaurs. Of course, I have my Raiders not in position to actually fire on anybody, which is just precisely the tactical advantage that I need. And you guys are actually taking hits, aren't you? Which is really annoying. Okay, the gates are down. Let's send the Minotaurs in first, and then we'll split the boys off into two groups and just try to push them at separate targets. The Raiders are doing their work, and we'll send in the Gore Herds as well. Of course, when you said, like, they had a nice line set up, a good spearman line that's, like, really well defended, that's going to keep a gate for a long time, except when there's Minotaurs on the other side of the gate. Then you're going to fucking die. But, you know, kudos on them for their bravery and their skill at arms to actually try to hold off this really impressive threat. I mean, these guys are wielding axes that are basically the size of these spearmen's upper torso. And then, of course, all the little Ungors pile in and just get some work done. I honestly think that's just the only breach we need. Our archers are doing pretty good. And where's Khazrak, actually? Oh my god, you're way at the back. I didn't move you forward. I should be ashamed. That's, I mean, for a Beastman leader like him to be totally, like, kept away from the action, that's a major personal slight. Like, they always got to get involved. We are going to send our Minotaurs around. We're going to send our Ungor herds, a couple of full strength ones up top, actually. And let's send our Minotaurs to go harass their archers before they can regroup and start firing into our lines. You guys are all pretty much doing alright. You guys took a bit of damage, but that's okay. The blood stains all over the ground. Okay, you guys got up there. That's good. Oh, we taking fire from elsewhere. I think I see arrows coming in. Yeah, there they are. Okay, let's split off a detachment of dogs, actually. I said that they're going to be useless, but they might actually provide invaluable right now. Minotaurs are cleaning up the archers very well. The wall is essentially crumbling. Khazrak, I want you to get involved up there. And of course, with the archers routing, we're going to bring the Minotaurs and... Oh, I wanted to get an epic flank, but you know what? We're going to have to deal with this group. Oh, brace, man, brace. Call out to your god. He's not going to help you here. And the dogs? Where are the dogs? They're coming. All right, here they are, streaming through the gate. Oh, they've got the scent of blood in their snouts. Actually, I thought they'd come like roaring in, but they're kind of actually just taking their time. there's anything the dogs love, it's a Empire crossbowman to chew on. I think a lot of our troops here are actually taking more damage from our missile fire than the enemy, which is kind of unfortunate, but you really have to be careful, and this was more prevalent in some of the previous Total War games, of making sure that your archers aren't inflicting casualties on your own troops, because, and I say specifically in Attila, you will kill so many of your own troops by getting them hit with your own arrows. So, and boom, just like that, the last man routs, and we take the capital city with a very well decisive victory, only losing about 400 troops to their 525. And of course, well, they lose the entire population of the city because we are going to strap helpless imperial peasants to the chopping blocks and spill human blood for the chaos gods. We gained a weapon for Khazrak, which I don't think he had one previously. He gains Warrior Bane, which gives us a hex that constantly affects the target area, giving minus 6% weapon damage to all enemies, which is pretty good, and really good for Khazrak since I like to get him involved in the fray. Also forgot to use our Gift of Chaos in that battle, which probably would have went to the Minotaurs, though they nearly killed 200 troops themselves, so maybe adding a buff would just be overkill. We still need the cash, so we're going to loot and raise it. And Shenfield is down. Gained a level for Khazrak. And now the question here is, I'm always concerned about teching down this line. I usually don't tech down their personal combat line, but leaving one line unteched into, you know, it specializes you towards battle leadership and of course the logistics side, but I think that with his abilities, like his actual quest abilities, will make up for not having too much in his personal combat. We also have the Crown of Horns. Ooh, what should we get? We are suffering a little bit of favor income issues, so I think we might get the Blessed by Evil, which gives us minus 3% upkeep for all units in the Lord's army and minus 3% recruitment cost for Khazrak. And that will hopefully take a little bit of a nick out of that negative income we have. Now, I don't think we can go into resting phase right now, so we're just going to have to end the turn and hope that our Beastman army here actually does what we wish them to in turn 19. Yeah, off they go. And they've taken it. Very nice. Of course, we don't get the loot or the growth from that, but, you know, we actually did just complete the objective of taking down Carroburg, so we should get some extra favor from popping that objective. There we go, on the take. And, oh, wow, we just gained a whole bunch of extra income somehow. We're only at minus 110, which is surprising. Oh, I know why. It's because the that buff we got from the Dark Moon just expired, so we're back to regular upkeep. Very cool. We failed to complete our bonus objectives, though, which I wasn't even aware we had them. And the Battle of Leidenholv ended with a Pyrrhic victory, which is surprising. And of course, we destroyed Carroburg, and we have a new objective issued: Total Gore. If you catch what they did there, do you see the joke? Do you get it? I don't. Honestly, somebody needs to inform me. Khazrak grows in renown, yet the blood grounds demand more. The One-Eye desires flesh. Destroy the following factions: Cult of Ulrich. And we get a reward, technology speed bonus. Ooh, we get a plus 25% bonus to our research rate, which is very cool, because of course that would offset us actually learning other technologies. So it looks like instead of my plans to fight against Marienburg, rather, we are going to be fighting the Cult of Ulrich, which, if you know something of... What the fuck are you? Why are there orcs here? Well, as long as you don't bother me, I really don't give a shit that you're there. If you know anything about the Warhammer world, the Cult of Ulrich is a cult that exists in worship of the old warrior called Ulrich, as opposed to Sigmar, but though sometimes they claim that Ulrich is a aspect of Sigmar, you know, and just to ease the religious tensions between the groups. But they're pretty cool. They worship. They wear wolf pelts, and they have like wolf headdresses on, and they're very, very neat priests in the Warhammer world. So we're gonna go into replenishment stance. We're gonna take our army here, and we'll just send them. We'll send them out. We'll let them strike the first blow against the Cult of Ulrich, which I think is much larger, taking up the Mirror Moors, Southern Drakwald, the Howling Hills. No, Howling Hills is Middenheim. It looks like Eastern Drakwald is theirs. So it's all... Ooh, and Western as well. So they hold basically this area here. And so they'll be a little bit more difficult to oust from their holdings than, of course, Carroburg was. We call to Ulrich the god of battles, wolves in winter. Well, you can call to whoever the hell you feel like. You're gonna fall. The Beastmen hold no mercy for any creature striding the world on toe defeat, as it were. Only the cloven ones truly deserve a place in these forests. I was like, I swear to fucking God, if that orc attacked us, I would have been livid. Carroburg destroyed. Carroburg falls, Khazrak. The pathetic man-filth flee before you, weeping their crimson heraldry across the rubble of their ruined cities. This is the first defeat of many that the defenders of Middenland will taste. This is the first defeat of many that the defenders of Middenland will taste. Okay, that is grammatically correct. It was just me that time. Yet, stiffer challenges await as you progress. All of Middenland will rise, desperate and worthless, to try and stop your brutal advance. The herd moves all the same. Khazrak, no weak fleshing can stand in your way. And we get for 10 turns the slaughter of man, giving us +2 chaos corruption and +3 horde growth. And then, of course, the Cult of Ulrich declares war on us, but we already declared war on them, so we beat him to the punch. Ally mobilizes against settlements. Okay, so our ally is attacking Fastburg like we told them to, which is great. And we are good to go into turn 21. Or wait, we just ended the turn, didn't we? We did just end the turn, I believe. Yeah, okay, they move. Well, I'm not even paying attention to shit that happens right in front of me like seconds ago. We have the opportunity to raise our settlement size, which is honestly just good for us. Just costing a bit of favor, or we can get the Toxic Grounds, which gives us a -5% upkeep for Chaos Warhound units, which is pretty good. But and unlocks the Chaos Warhound's Poison, which is very good against higher tier units, because Poison deals a speed, like a huge debuff. It's like speed, weapon skill, weapon defense, weapon strength, and just a whole bunch of, like, it really just cripples a stronger unit. But I think we're going to take a couple of turns just to chill out, relax, recover our dudes, fornicate with some of our does that look like men, and just really enjoy hanging out in the woods with ourselves and our pan flutes and just, you know, having a grand old time. So that'll be good. 2 turns will be enough, and then we'll be riled up, ready for war to strike at the Cult of Ulrich. Of course, our Brayherd... Hey, they took it! Look at that. I kind of miss that we don't get the loot, but this is a good distraction because it'll draws out the strength of the Cult of Ulrich, and then we can sneak in through the southern area when everyone's distracted to the north there. Looks like Marienburg's just checking out the ruins of Carroburg, seeing what they can salvage, I suppose. Oh, I thought it was gonna take 2 turns. Looks like it only took 1. Then we don't have to wait here any longer now, do we? Get out of the way, orcs. Come on. You refuse, eh? I will fucking attack you. Alright, thank you. Okay, let's go into the Beast Paths movement, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna strike... Oh, we should almost like strike all the way through and attack Eldagson. Ah, Dags, there we go. Eldagson, the land of the Dags. I mean, it makes sense for some wolf worshippers to name things after Dags. And now you, I know that you're going to basically die next turn, so I want you to go out in a glorious bloodshed so that you can distract them. Oh, I thought I told you guys to attack. Oh, maybe I just told them to attack, like, to that position. Well, they're doing their job anyways, and they're causing attrition since this whole area is a wasteland and covered in chaos filth. Very good. What did happen to them? They were mobilizing. Blasphemy! Although you have scored a victory most vicious, enemy reinforcements are on their way and will doubtless overrun this position. Oh, yeah. We should honestly loot some wealth because we need it. And we're going to carry on, hopefully not being seen by their forces until we can make it into their southern lands. And we're going to lose them pretty soon because once they hit below this marker, I'm pretty sure they just disband. So I almost just want them to go after... Who's the weaker? I think he's the weaker. Go after him. And we'll go into turn 23. Oh, did you guys win? No. Fuck. Well, that's okay. Again, as much as we can weaken them, the better. Because they're nowhere near allied reinforcements. Got decisive defeat. Hey, Indar's back. Ooh, the winds of pain. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts from the heavens scour souls from bodies, whilst raging torrents of fire rend the very flesh from bone. Magic can rip enemies into a dozen pieces or leave nothing but an ugly bloodstain where they once stood. The power granted by the cataclysm many eons ago now can be harnessed now to bring ruin and destruction upon our enemies. All those who feel the pull of magic feel it grow as the world festers under chaos's ruinous gaze. Their need to ravage grows stronger and stronger by the hour. Starting winds of magic power, plus 20 for all armies of all factions. Very good. Now we actually got our wizard back. I can appreciate that. We'll send him outwards as a screening force, and we'll continue our inexorable advance. We should actually take one turn before we start sacking to replenish some of our troops, as our troops are pretty weak right now. And there goes our allied Bray Herd. Oh, well, they did their job, and I can appreciate that. Yeah, oh, Beastly Stupor, and we researched our technology, which gives us the melee attack for lords and heroes, as well as melee defense. And the Dark Moon is Ascendant. It is infused with a deep dark crimson, a sign of the rage of the ruinous powers, and a call for the Beastmen to see this rage manifested. It is you, Beast Lord, who must channel this hatred and direct it upon our enemies. Very neat, a crimson moon. Unfortunately, though, it's all the same stuff, which is kind of weird. Where is this? We should almost go for casualty replenishment rate and just quickly replenish them, but at the same time, oh man, we're going to lose quite a bit of horde growth when we do that, putting us into the negative. And it's going to put us into the negative like 12, which we honestly I think might just lose a population point, but I'm not sure if that's how that works. Either way, oh, this is hard to say. Let's just go for the cost of skill. And we're going to move... Oh, if we move like this... Hold on. Let's move like this and go to about here. And then we'll take the rest of the turn to replenish. And now we have to consider our technology options: evasion, horde growth, unit experience, siege time, missile damage. That might be pretty good. Weapon strength for mortar or Minotaur's mortars. That would be awesome. But let's go with the horde growth because we're just gonna need that. It's another infrastructure technology. Better the earlier you get it on, and it's nice to offset any issues that we have. We have a recruiting shortage. Recruitment cost is up even more, which sucks because our recruitment cost is like, what, 1.5 times now, or not even 2.5 times. Oh, we have the option to get some gores. I'm going to, oh, do we go for that? How many turns do we have? We should have enough turns to get this, and then also not run out of cash, which is it's going to be a close one, and I'm not going to be able to do much with my wizard besides just be a scout, keep his eyes on these armies, but I think this should work out. We'll take one turn resting, build up that structure to get gores. We won't get gores yet. And, oh man, our fightiness is getting, sorry, our bestial rage, not fightiness, we're not orcs, is getting pretty low. So we're going to have to slaughter some humans pretty soon here. El Dagson, you're going down, my friend. I'm sorry. The full rage of our war herd is going to come crashing down on you in a rain of sweaty bull flesh, which is, again, somewhat arousing but mostly terrifying. Alright, let's sack him. And it's going to be an absolute slaughter. I'm just going to auto-resolve this. It's not, they don't even have stood a chance. Yeah, we lost 24 troops to their 600. Got some loot, and we're going to have to raise it just to get some extra cash. And look at that. Where is our... We get background income. What happened here? Why do we keep losing upkeep? And I'm not complaining that we're losing upkeep. I'm just wondering why. Also, Khazrak gained a level up, and we have unlocked his quest line. His quest to gain Scourge, the lethal whip thirsty for blood and wrapped in the bitter curses of many generations of brave shamans. This is one of his unique weapons that, of course, is featured on the tabletop on his model. And one of his, of course, legends of lore, or weapons of lore rather, that he uses throughout the book series and the various events that Games Workshop puts out. So very well known. Of course, we don't need to tech into it. We just need to end up doing the quest when it comes around. Otherwise, we do have an option to honestly raise up that upkeep. We're gonna almost take this Blessed by Evil to full, so we can get minus 15% upkeep. And look at that, we're in the green, which is lovely. We don't have any more movement points, so we're gonna keep bringing our shaman back. And next target, I think, will be Sunderberg, since I think it's pretty much going to be undefended. There are a couple of armies I think were in this region here, and shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyways, that is unfortunately time for me, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, I enjoy the Beastmen army. I think that they're really interesting, pretty powerful. Up until this point, I don't think I've really synergized with any of the other armies, besides kind of Empire, since I do love the Imperial method of battle and having battle lines, and it's very, makes a lot of sense to me as a Total War player. But until the Beastmen came out, I never really empathized with the faction as much. Because, orcs are fun to play as, and actually, I meme pretty constantly when I play them, just to piss Matt off, and just to enjoy playing an orc, because, it's fun to play orcs. Undead I do like, but I've never really synergized with them completely. And then, of course, Chaos, I feel like their roster is a little bit weak. Every time I play them in multiplayer, I have a very hard time building a list for them, as their units are both simultaneously very expensive and sometimes underwhelming in combat, but that could just be a personal flaw. And lastly, dwarfs are just way too slow and too defensive for me. I'm not a lot of a turtle player. For example, in RTSs, I like to play StarCraft 2, and when I play StarCraft 2, I usually play Zerg. And I'm all about mutiling and very fast attacks and a lot of fast expansions. I never really do too much turtling in RTSs, so dwarfs as a playstyle just doesn't mesh with me. So Beastmen, I really love them. They hit hard. You have to be careful with how you use their troops because they don't have the best morale. And they get work done. I love it. So, and I'm loving playing this. So hopefully we shall see us take Khazrak to the very end, where he can stand triumphantly over the desecrated corpse of Boris Todbringer. Thank you guys for watching. Please like or dislike as you see fit. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. Subscribe if you want to see more, and follow me on Twitter at KRDehane if you just want to chat me up and get channel updates. So I will see you guys in the next one.